right? So, so far what we have discussed is like also today also what we are discussing is the conventional methods of surveying. Okay, so nowadays surveying the way we do the survey has it's entirely different from what we have done in older days. So we are more advanced now. Now what we are mainly we are using the total station and the differential GPS, and we do survey using remote sensing images and all. So like for example Google Map is an example. So with the way we do survey has changed, but the on the theoretical grounds remains the same. So uh, so what we have so far covered the chain surveying, the combo surveying, and the plane table surveying that we are going to discuss today. All these are the conventional methods of surveying. Okay, so any doubt regarding chain surveying or combo surveying for you, like until now, you need clarification in some section, or like you want clarity in some section, or you didn't understand some part. So is it some kind of situation like for you, or you are comfortable after reading the textbook, you are able to catch up things? Can I assume that you guys are understanding things like when you read out the book?
Yes, sir,
Nice,
almost.
sir. കുഴപ്പമൊന്നുമില്ല.
Okay, fine. So that's really good. So today we'll be discussing a new topic, uh, a new method of surveying, which is the plane table surveying. So can you guys infer something about from this picture, like how the survey could be done? Can you assume something? The way how do we do it, or what is plane table survey? Can you like explain from this picture? Somebody?
സാർ ഒരു പ്ലെയിൻ ടേബിൾ വെച്ചിട്ടുള്ളതെന്ന് മനസ്സിലായി.
Okay, that is fine. So we are using plain table. So that is one answer. Somebody can add more to that. Someone? I'm expecting wild guesses and wild assumptions, and you are creative thinking. So you are free to express
Sharp
yourself.
corner ഒക്കെ.
So you want to so we can measure the corners. So there is one exception, like that point Q that is not at the corner. Anyway, like to mark corner, that is other the addition from your side. So any more?
ആ ടേബിളിന്റെ അവിടുന്ന് ഓരോ കോർണറിലേക്കും പ്ലോട്ട് ചെയ്യാണോ?
Okay. Then
സാർ എല്ലാ കോർണറും ഒരു ഒറ്റ പോയിന്റിൽ കൺവേർജ് ചെയ്യണം.
okay. Any more? Any more? Okay. See, whatever you have, uh, you thought about it, it's almost correct. So we are making use of a table, which has to be very horizontal to the ground surface, and we set the table at the point of our choice, and from there, what you are trying, instead of converging, actually what we are doing is from that table you are citing each point. All the bars shown in the pictures, no, they are the ranging roads which have kept at the point of your interest, which means, for example, point A. See, you can see point. Let me. Yeah, see, this is point A on the ground, at which you have placed a ranging road. Okay, and what you do is you are going to sight by some tools from this point. okay, you are going to size this ranging load. Okay, so you will be knowing that particular direction from here. Okay, likewise you from the same position you side point B, side point C, side D, side E. Likewise you, so from this point P, this is the point P on the ground which you have converted to the which you have transferred to the table, which means that this small p on the drawing board, which is exactly over the capital P on the ground. Okay, which means that you are transferring the point, the capital P on the ground to small p on the drawing board. Okay, it is not, you are not plotting over the board. You will be keeping a drawing sheet over the table, so that you will be all your markings or reporting you'll be doing on the drawing sheet, which is placed over this table. Okay, so that's how, so you will be getting this direction, this every direction you will be getting from this point, right? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is the concept of plane table. Know the distance, right? Simply by knowing the orientation it doesn't help you. So what do you do? From point P you sight at A. Okay, so you got the orientation. Then what you do, you measure the distance from P to A using a chain. So that distance on the ground you transform to a suitable scale, so that you can mark that particular length on the paper, on the drawing sheet, which is placed over the table. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Likewise, for every point, you are going to draw a line in the direction which, at which you see the ranging dot. Okay, that is the basic idea of plane table surveying. So it is a graphical method of survey in which the field observations and plotting are done simultaneously. This is the one of the only method, uh, I would say only method, like, so compared to the chaining and combo surveying. This is the one method which does uh, the measurements and also the observations that we make out of the make from the field, and also the graphing procedure or the plotting procedure, they are done simultaneously, because you are keeping the table on the ground. You have placed a drawing sheet over it, and you are going to measure all the details in that particular field right there. So this is simultaneously you are doing. So that is one important thing you have to remember. So I think this question has been asked in one of the question papers I have seen. So they have asked which is the method, which is the survey method which make use of by which you can do both the graphing and uh, measurement together. So that is the plane table surveying. Okay, so as you are directly marking, directly plotting all the details in the field itself, it will reduce the mistakes. So if you are like, if you feel there is some mistake, you can straightway like have a measurement. You can take one more observation if you want, for more clarity and to ensure that there is no error in your measurement. So such advantage is there if you do both the mapping and measurement together. And also you are in the field, and what all information you want you can directly mark on it, right? And there is no chance that you measure some of the, you miss some of the measurements that you want to take. So that missing of data is also less, and also making mistakes will also be very less if you are doing plane table surveying. And this method, it costs you uh, it, the cost of a table and some small accessories with that. So the cost for this setup is very less compared to the theodolite. Theodolite we will be discussing. This is a more advanced method, but you will be studying in the coming classes. So anyway, if you compare the compare with theodolite, it can also only use for very small scale surveys. Now, if you want very intense survey of large area, this is not the choice. Okay, so mainly when we prefer plain table surveys, suppose we are doing a very big survey using a theodolite or or any other instruments. Okay, but you want to have some detailed information of small part of the area within that large area that you are going to survey. Okay, in such situations, what you do there, you make use of plain table surveying. So you map all the minute features of what you want using the plain table, because you will be marking on the field itself. No, so the chance for missing important information will be very less. So in such instances, you make use of plain table survey. This is clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, although we have mentioned some advantages, let us have a look at the advantages in detail. The first one we have already discussed. The observations and plotting are done simultaneously, hence there is no risk of omitting necessary details. The errors and mistake in plotting can be checked by drawing check lines. See, here you have the advantage. Suppose you are at suppose you are doing both the plotting and the measurement simultaneously, and if you, so while drawing you feel that okay, the AE distance, this is not what we have measured is 100 meters, but while drawing and compared to all other points, what you are feeling that it is only 90 meters. So you are confused. Okay, but you have the you are at the field itself, so you are free to have one more observation to verify it. So such advantage is there if you use plain table surveying. Irregular objects can be plotted accurately as the lay of land is in view, because you are at the field, you can see all the objects no matter whether it is regular or irregular. You will be able to do the plotting of the vertices of the irregular object using plain table surveying. And it is the most rapid and useful for filling in details, because if you want more intense details about the features within an area, this is the right choice. And the method is very rapid in the sense your plotting will be done simultaneously with the observations. So for this anyway, see, you are plotting it by simply rotating the table, no? So no much skill is required to do this compared to combo survey, where you have plenty of angle computations and you have to know the trigonometric calculation, then only you'll be able to do. But in plain table surveying, you are simply rotating the table and simply drawing lines and taking linear measurements. So for that, you don't require any great skill. So that is also the advantage with this survey. And as I mentioned, it is cheaper than theodolite. And one important thing, whenever you are using compass for surveying, that is affected by the uh, magnetic field of the Earth, and also the presence of other magnetic substances within uh, the point or the area we survey, the local attraction and all what we have discussed. So such confounding factors will not be there if you go with plain table surveying. So although we have discussed the advantages, there are many disadvantages as well. And it is not suitable for work in a wet climate, because we are using a plain table generally made of wood. And if it is raining and you are placing drawing sheet over the your table, so it cannot be used if it is raining. So in such situations, you cannot use plain table. So generally, so that's why it's generally a instrument suitable for the tropics. And also, if there is a very dense wood or like forest land, you won't be able to do the plain table surveying, because all the trees are going to interrupt your measurements, and you will not be having that much precision to point your object as you will get in case of a combo survey or theodolite or total station like that. So it's not suitable when the area is heavily populated, like densely populated with vegetation. And although we consider it is an advantage of plotting and measurement simultaneously, the you neglect to have the, or you will not generally go with field notes while plane table surveying, because anyway you are directly mapping. So this absence of these field notes will restrict you to do the plotting into a different scale if you want. Suppose you have choose 1:5 as the scale, 1 centimeter is equal to 5 meter as your scale. And tomorrow, if you want to do another thing and you have to transform all the details, means it is very difficult. Okay, so such difficulty is there because of the absence of the field notes. So, and the as you from, if you want to shift from one station to the other, you have to carry all these the table and all the accessories with you, and in the process you, what will happen is some of the smaller tools may fall down, and the weight of the table may not be convenient for everyone. So it is somewhat heavy, and also it's very risky to carry from one instrument station to the other, and it is not very accurate for large scale surveys compared to compass and theodolite survey. And also it is made of wood, and it is going to affect when the temperature, the atmospheric temperature really changes. So in such situations, like this is not advisable. Okay, you got some idea, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what is the principle behind plane table surveying? It is nothing but the, suppose if you are measuring a line on the ground, for example, take point A and point B, okay, and you are going to mark that particular point on the sheet, right? A, B, small a and capital small b on the drawing sheet. So this line AB and this line AB on the ground and line AB on the drawing sheet should be parallel to each other. So the principle is parallelism. So the line AB has to be parallel with small ab. Small ab corresponds to the distance in the sheet, which the ground distance drawn to scale, and the actual distance on the ground is denoted by capital letters AB. So AB has to be parallel with small ab, capital BC has to be parallel with small bc. Likewise, all the measurements has to be parallel with the corresponding lines or representation on the drawing sheet. So if somebody asks you what is the principle behind plane table surveying, it is nothing but parallelism. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So what are the instruments we require to do a plane table survey? So essentially you need a plane table. So this is the table, you can see that, right? The table, which we also call as a drawing board, because you are going to place a drawing sheet over it. So it's a, excuse me, I'm getting some message at the time my phone updated. May I know who is this?
Sir, Raj Lakshmi.
Okay, fine. Okay, that's fine. But you are now you are able to follow, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so it consists of a drawing board, which is the plane table. So drawing board itself is called the plane table. Okay, so we have a drawing board. We'll be so this is this is the important part of the part of the our setup. And second is we need a tripod to keep this drawing board in position. We want to adjust the height of different legs of the tripod so that we can make the drawing board horizontal to the ground surface. Okay. Okay, and there are also some arrangements at the head of the tripod. You may be having foot screws so that you can make some final adjustments on the on how to uh, adjustments to level the drawing board. Okay, and the third one is the alidade. Alidade is nothing. It's a simple tool. You can have two types of alidade. One is the plain alidade, which I have shown the bottom, and the other one is the telescopic alidade. Okay, so in the plain alidade, nothing. It consists of two vertical veins. The one is the sight vein and is the object vein. You will be sighting through this particular narrow slit on the left side, and you will there will be one horsehair here, and you will be sighting your tripod, which is kept somewhere here, through this object vein. And what you is you have to bisect your ranging rod with this horsehair. Okay, so that is the alidade. So the the which is the plain alidade. In telescopic alidade, you make use of prisms and lens and also that you will have the and also you can tilt it in vertical direction. So you will have the liberty to adjust the focus. You will be have the liberty to change the angle in the like vertical angle for suitable sighting. So you'll be having more flexibility, and the sighting will be more easier with telescopic alidade. But you can also do it with plain alidade. There is no much difficulty. So there are different. These are the two different kinds of alidade that can be used. Okay. In both the alidade, see, they have left a beveled edge, which is called as the fiducial edge, through which we can mark the line. If you draw a line in the fiducial edge, that exactly matches your line of sight. Okay, that particular edge is known as the fiducial edge. ഇങ്ങനെ ചരിഞ്ഞിട്ടൊരു ഇത് വരക്കാനായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ലൈൻ ഉണ്ടാവും, ഒരു ഇതുണ്ടാവും, അതിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഫിഡ്യൂഷ്യൽ എഡ്ജ് എന്ന് പറയാം. So I have told you plain table, right? So drawing board plus the tripod, this setup is known as the plain table. Okay, this is not the previously I have told drawing board itself is called plain table, and I sorry for that. Actually, drawing board plus the tripod, that setup is called as the plain table. Okay, generally the drawing board may be of rectangular in shape. It can vary. It can have a small size like 40 to 30 centimeter, or it can have a bigger one like 75 to 60 centimeter rectangle, or it can be a square type which is of 50 whose length could be somewhere between 50 to 60 centimeters. Okay, generally wooden tables are used so that you will be able to fix the drawing sheet using thumb pins over the table. Okay, these are the three main instruments used for plain table surveying. Is this clear to you? You will be having a tripod which will be placing on the ground. Then you fix a drawing board. Then you'll be keeping a drawing sheet. Then you'll be having alidade for orienting towards the point at which you have placed a ranging rod. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we'll look at some of the other accessories which we need to perform the plain table surveying. So one is the trough compass. So this is nothing. It is a normal magnetic compass, which is but in this one the rotation of the magnet is restricted because we need only one direction for the to really look at the point. So this is somewhat a rectangular box kind of compass, which is called the trough compass. So this is generally used to mark the direction of the meridian on the paper. So in this particular one, after what we will do is first we place the tripod, we fix the drawing board over it, then we place the drawing sheet. Then what we have to do is we have to identify the meridian. So which meridian generally we can use? We have a compass and we have to choose one meridian. So which meridian you will choose? I'm asking you which
Magnet.
meridian you prefer to. Magnetic meridian. So which direction you prefer? So north south, no? The north and south which you are marking using compass is the magnetic meridian, right? So this magnetic meridian is the north south direction. Okay. So generally what you do is if you place this table, you mark the direction north because you are having a compass, it shows you the north direction, right? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
If you, okay. Anyway, I'll be explaining that in the coming slides so that you'll be more clear. Okay, so that is the importance of that is the requirement of the compass for surveying purpose, and you will also need a spirit level because what you do is you fix the tripod, then you place the drawing board over that, but you have to make the drawing board horizontal, like horizontal, right? It should not have any tilt in like while at the field. So what you do is you make use of spirit level. You keep the spirit level at the four corners or the four edges of the table and ensure that the bubble is at the center at the four edges of the drawing board. If so, you can say that your table is uh, is in horizontal position, like or horizontal direction, right? There is no tilt on the table, that on the drawing table. Is that clear? So that is the purpose of using spirit level. Okay, and the third instrument or the tool you require is either the U frame or the plumbing fork. Both does the same job, but the this is different. The shape and size is different. So the one which is having U in shape this way, that is called the U frame. The other one is the plumbing fork. So both of these, why are we using is to do the centering the table and transferring the ground point. See, suppose we have a point here on like my imagine my cursor is the point A. Okay, our first instrument station. That red dot is the point A, and you want to fix your table over point A, right? Because you want to mark a small. You have to transfer this point onto the table, right? So what you do is you hang a plumb bob over this point, okay, and that plumb bob will be attached with. So let me draw it so that it will be clear. Imagine this is point A. So corresponding point on the sheet would be small a. Okay. Okay. So you have a ground point. You have a ground point A and you want to mark this point on your drawing sheet. So what you do is you hang a plumb bob over this point A. Okay. So that and that will be attached with the plumbing fork or the U frame. U frame is having so two rings here on which you can attach the plumb bob, and this one you will have some arrangement to hang the plumb bob. So you imagine you hang the plumb bob and this will be kept in this particular fashion, right? This frame. So the needle on the other side of the upper arm, that will show you the point corresponding to this particular point on the sheet. If you place in this one in this particular fashion, you will be able to locate this point on the table. So this particular point is the point A on the sheet, which is vertical, which is vertical to the ground point A. ഇവിടെ ഒരു പോയിന്റ് ഉണ്ട് എ എന്നുള്ളത്. ഇപ്പൊ ഇതിന്റെ മുകളിൽ നമ്മൾ ഒരു പ്ലം ബോബ് പിടിക്കുക. പ്ലം ബോബ് പിടിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഡ്യൂ ടു നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പ്ലം ബോബ് എന്താണെന്ന് അറിയില്ലേ? You know what is plumb bob? Do you know what is plumb bob? Anyone, please? Anyone know which is plumbob? What is plumbob?
Sir,
Am I audible to you? Sorry?
അറിയില്ല sir. അറിയില്ല.
സാർ അത് ഈ
Oh, sorry for that.
ഒക്കെ കൈ ഇരിക്കുന്നതാണ്.
ആരുടെ കയ്യില്?
അല്ല അതിനൊരു പേര്
I miss എനിക്ക്
മേസ്തിരിമാരുടെ കയ്യിൽ മേസൺസിന്റെ
വെയിറ്റ്
കയ്യിൽ
കെട്ടയാണോ തൂക്കുകെട്ട?
തൂക്കുകെട്ടയാണ് പ്ലംബോബിയ. അതാണ് പ്ലംബോബ്. അപ്പൊ അതിലെ വെയിറ്റ് ഉള്ളത് കൊണ്ട് ആ എപ്പോഴും ത്രെഡ് ഇറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് സ്ട്രെയിറ്റ് ആയിട്ടായിരിക്കും നിൽക്കുക. അപ്പൊ അത് ഹാങ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് വെർട്ടിക്കൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഡയറക്ഷൻ കറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് കിട്ടും. ഒരു ബെൻഡ് ഇല്ലാതെയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ചരിവില്ലാതെ ഇൻക്ലിനേഷൻ ഇല്ലാതെയോ സ്ട്രെയിറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടും. See, the plumbob is it's a tool used by the masonry people for taking level between 2 points. Generally, they want to see if their construction is vertical. They make use of the plumbob to ensure the masonry work is in vertical. Okay, so that is plumbob. So similar plumbob you will be attaching with the U frame, and that frame, see, you can see that the design of this frame, right? So the it is kind of a C kind of shape. You can see this one. So this point and this point, they are on the same line. So this is the point where you hang the plumbob, and this is the point which you will be marking on the drawing sheet. So they are vertical. That is how, because the distance from this point to this remains the same as this point to this. So the point you are getting will be the same point, capital A, on the sheet, which we represent as small a. Is that clear? How we are transferring the point A from the ground point to the drawing sheet?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this process of transferring a particular point on the ground to the point to a drawing sheet is known as the centering, which means that you have placed your table at the center of this or exactly above this point A. So that is that we call the term centering refers to that, the transferring of the ground point to the table. This is what we call by centering. Okay, for this purpose we make use of U frame or the plumbing fork. Okay, and there are some other accessories that we need. One is the drawing sheet, because we will be placing drawing sheet over the table, and we'll fix it using thumb pins. We need chain to measure distance from our instrument station to the point of our interest, or the point at which the detail has to be plotted. So for that we need chain or tape. You need arranging rods to locate your points, and we have to fix ranging rods so that you will be able to bisect the ranging rod when you look through the alidade from the alidade kept over the plane table. And you also need drawing tools, such as you may need L square, you may need maybe pencil, you may need erasers. All these comes under the drawing tools which you generally require for drawing. You require paper clips or screws to really fix each point, and also to fix the paper over the table. And suppose if you are working in a raining area, you may require also waterproof cover to protect your drawing from rain or any other precipitation. Okay, so these are the important accessories that we require for plane table surveying. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sure that as you are not physically seeing the this one, the objects, you will be having limitation in imagination. But if you are having some confusion in that, feel free to ask. Okay, don't think that like whether my thought will be be funny or don't restrict yourself. You are free to ask. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So what are the operations in plain table survey? And this is an important question. The chance for asking this question is very high. So far I understood. So there are mainly three operations in plain table survey. One is the fixing, setting, and citing. Fixing is nothing but it's a process in which the plain table is fixed on a tripod stand, which we have already discussed. So then white drawing sheet is then placed on the flat table and properly fixed with the clips or thumb screws. During the whole process of plain table surveying, care should be taken that the position of the drawing sheet should not be misplaced. So I hope it is understandable. The first thing is we have to place the tripod, then over it you have to place the plain table, then you have to place the drawing sheet over it, and you have to fix it properly using thumb pins, and you have to ensure that the sheet will not get disrupted from its initial position throughout your survey. Okay. And the second is the setting. Setting consists of the centering, which we have already discussed. Anyway, I'll be going through it again. I'll read it out. It is a process in which the plain table is properly centered by using a plumbing fork, which is very similar to plumb bob. It is used to mark the center point on the ground, which exactly represents the center point on the drawing sheet, which means that you have to transfer a point on the ground to the drawing sheet. So that process is the centering. And the second one, second operation which comes under setting is the leveling. It is a process in which plain table is properly leveled by using spirit level. I have mentioned you have to keep spirit level at the four edges of the plain table and ensure that the bubble is at the center of the lines, which tells you that the table is in horizontal position. The plain table should be parallel to the ground surface. The survey should not be carried out until the table is properly leveled. So this is an so if you are not leveling it, your measurements are going to be incorrect. Okay, so it is always better. It is essential to level the table before you start your plotting. And the third is the orientation. It is a process of setting the plain table into some fixed direction so that the line representing a certain direction on the plan is parallel to that direction on the ground. This orientation is mainly done to ensure the parallelism principle, because you want to ensure that the point which you are drawing, the points which you are joining on the sheet should be parallel to the same points on the ground. So for that you are properly orienting your table to those points. So that is the process called the orientation. The other process, the other operation is sighting. The points to be located are sighted through the alidade, which we have already seen. The alidade has a sighting vane and an object vane. You sight through the sighting vane, and the object vane consists of a horsehair, and you bisect the ranging rod which you have kept on your point while sighting through the alidade. For each point, a line or race is drawn from the instrument station along the edge of the alidade. I have mentioned the fiducial edge. Once you identify the once you bisect the ranging rod at the point, what you are going to draw a line on your drawing sheet along the fiducial edge. So that is the orientation of that particular line which you mark on the drawing sheet. Is this clear to you? The three operations in plain table survey.
No, yes, sir.
Okay. So in the plain table survey, there are actually three or four methods of how can we do the plain table survey. So the first two methods are the radiation and intersection, and the third and fourth are the traversing and resection. The first two methods are generally used to locate the survey points or the points of our interest, but the other two, the traversing and resection, they are generally used to locate the instrument station or the plane table stations. Okay, so there are in your lecture schedule they mentioned about three methods only, but in the textbook they have given the resection method also. But today we will be discussing these three: radiation, intersection, and traversing. Resection we will be discussing tomorrow, along with some more explanation has to be given in the resection topic. So we will be discussing this in the next class, but we will be dealing with radiation, intersection, and traversing today. Okay, radiation and intersection generally used to locate survey points or the detailed points, while traversing and resection used to locate the instrument station. This you have to keep in mind. Don't forget this one. Okay. Radiation intersection for survey points or the detailed points, but in traversing and resection for plane table stations. So the first method is the radiation. So in this, you imagine O is your instrument station. It is a point in the field. Okay, capital O. What you have done is at the point O, you placed, you brought your tripod, you fixed the your drawing board over that. Then you do the leveling, you do the centering. Okay, after centering, you got the point small o over the drawing sheet. Is this clear? The white portion shows the drawing sheet and the brown color represents the wooden edge. Okay, so the point O, at point O, you place your tripod, you fix the plane table, you level it so that that is horizontal. Then you transfer point O and mark it as point small o on the drawing sheet. And this transferring, which instrument are you using to transfer this capital O, the ground point, to the point on the drawing sheet? Which instrument, which tool you use?
Plumbing fork.
Plumbing fork. Which is the other tool for that?
Plumb book.
The plumb bob you are using to along with the plumbing fork. But U frame, no, you forgot that. U frame and plumbing fork. Okay, so what is the process called? Transferring this point to the drawing sheet.
Centering.
Centering. Okay, so first you come, you are fixing, then you are leveling, then you are centering. Okay, these three process completed. Okay, so now you mark point O and you are now here, right? You have done the three operations, right? You have fixing, you have done fixing operation, you have done the leveling, you have done the centering. Is that clear up to now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now you want to locate the points. So for that, what you do, you have alidade with you, right? You have alidade, right? So what you do, you keep your alidade somewhere here. Okay, on over the table in this particular dash. Let me draw it for you. Maybe pen. I have alidade here. Okay. This is sighting vane and this is the object vane of the alidade. Okay. What you do, through the sighting vane here, you are viewing it, and the object vane comes here, and it has a crosshair here. You are sighting through this eye vane, and you have kept a ranging rod over here. Okay, you are from here, you are sighting through the eye vane, and there is one crosshair over the object vane. You you rotate this alidade in such a way that the crosshair here exactly bisect the ranging rod placed at the point A. Is that clear to you? നമ്മൾ ഈ ഐ വെയിനിലൂടെ നോക്കുന്നു, അല്ല ഒബ്ജക്റ്റ് വെയിനിൽ അവിടെ ഒരു ക്രോസ് ഹെയർ ഉണ്ട്. ക്രോസ് ഹെയർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇറ്റ്സ് എ വെരി തിൻ hair which is kept in vertical, which is erected vertically in that particular vein, okay, which is fixed very in a vertical direction. So if we look through that vein, you can see this ranging rod, and make sure that the crosshair exactly bisect the ranging rod longitudinally. മനസ്സിലായോ അത്?
Yes, sir.
നമ്മൾ ഉന്നം നോക്കില്ലേ? ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ എന്താ ഒരു ഉന്നം നോക്കുന്നത്? യു ആർ ഹൗ ഡു യു എയിം അറ്റ് ആൻ ഒബ്ജക്ട് ഇഫ് യു ആർ യൂസിങ് എ ഗൺ? യു വിൽ ബി ഹാവിങ് എ വൺ എയിം ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഒരു ചെറിയൊരു പോയിന്റ് നമ്മളുടെ ഈ ഗണ്ണിന്റെ എൻഡിൽ ഉണ്ടാവും. നമ്മൾ എയിം ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഒരു പോയിന്റ് കണ്ടിട്ടില്ലേ? അപ്പൊ ആ പോയിന്റും നമുക്ക് ഏതാണ് ടാർഗറ്റ് നമ്മൾ മാച്ച് ചെയ്യുകയല്ലേ ചെയ്യുക. ലൈക്ക് വൈൽ, മനസ്സിലായോ? അതേപോലെ ഇൻസ്റ്റെഡ് ഓഫ് ദാറ്റ് പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ പോയിന്റ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഒരു പ്രൊജക്ഷനെ സ്ഥാനത്ത് ഹിയർ വി ആർ ഹാവിങ് എ വെർട്ടിക്കൽ ലൈൻ, ദി ഹോസ് ഹെയർ. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So you have sighted the ranging rod at point A, right? So this is your line of sight. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Then what you do, you measure the distance between ground distance OA. You measure it. So you got some value. That value you draw on the drawing sheet, like on a suitable scale. Okay, for example, 5 meters is equal to 1 centimeter, or 1 centimeter on the drawing sheet is equal to 5 meters on the ground. Likewise, some scale you can choose. Is there any way to okay, so using alidade and ranging rod, you sight the object or sight the point, then you draw the line of sight. Okay, in that line of sight, after measuring the distance OA and converting that to a suitable scale, you mark as small o and small a. Suppose if that distance is 10 meters, that 10 meters correspond to 2 centimeters on the drawing sheet, because 1 centimeter is equal to 5 meters, right? That is the scale you have chosen. So this would be 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter. So from O in this particular direction, if you go 2 centimeters, that is your point A. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So now you want to plot point B on the drawing sheet. How do you plot?
സാർ ഇത് കുറെ ഉണ്ടോ സാർ ഇനി?
എന്തുപറ്റി?
അല്ല സാർ, 5 മണിയായി. അടുത്ത ക്ലാസ്സിൽ എടുത്താൽ പോരെ സാർ?
Okay, then I'll start with this tomorrow.
ഓക്കെ സാർ. റേഷൻ കടയിൽ പോകണം സാർ, ഇന്നും കൂടെ കിറ്റ് കിട്ടുള്ളൂ.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, we'll resume tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.